So I think this is it. This, like, pile of rocks that's frustratingly, like, right next to the fort. Making me look really silly. Not a rat! The rats are smugglers? Hello, Muck Rossius. Friendly?
You won't escape
Oh,
me
not
that
friendly.
easily.
Not a friend. Not a- ow. 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 Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Oh, I'm gonna have to play with my other magic now. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. I said stop it. Now it's breaking. Well, now it's just a normal weapon. That was very impolite of you, sir. Don't appreciate this behavior. The axe of paralysis. Yeah, so a lot of these people have dangerous, nasty weapons that ruin me, but they don't use them very well. Because paralyzed for 10 seconds works a lot better if you only attack with that weapon every 10 seconds, but the NPCs rarely... They rarely apply AI behavior where they actually change weapons. So it's unlikely... There we go. So they don't change weapons, so they don't use that at proper efficiency, because they should be using it once every 10 seconds, then changing to a different weapon, and then they could keep me paralyzed forever, basically. Instead, they don't. Lockpicking! Hooray! Give me a proper chance to restore some of the stat. Aha, I stole your 1 gold. Take that. Medium bear armor. There's the rest of the bear set. Who doesn't want bear armor? How are we doing on leveling up? Still need 5 more points to go up. Orcs, you say? That's a tad unexpected. Maybe I can sneak up on the bear man, or whatever you're wearing. And ka.
Here it comes.
Teal or what? Ew, get out of here. Hope you got better plans than that. Not working out. Oh, he's paralyzing me. Wow. You guys have a lot of armor. And a lot of tricks up your sleeve. There I go again. I probably don't want to fight 2 of you guys at once. Just going out there with that idea. What kind of cool tricks did you have? So another paralysis axe. Troll bone helm. That's what he's wearing on his helm. The rest is just a steel set. I guess that was all the tricks he had. Oh, it broke. My helm, though. I like my helm. Feels like my helm's always breaking in weird ways. Let's see. There we go. Figure I might as well use what I've got. Yeah, I found the cave I was supposed to investigate, so now I just need to find evidence of smuggling. Whoa, grand soul gem, just like that, just hanging out. That's a good find. A good find indeed. Might have another trick coming my way sometime soon. Two at once could be rough, and they keep not looking away either.
Fight well.
Maybe they won't see me if I go over here like a sneaky pants.
Wait, did that work? Is that really how good my sneaking is now? That's insane. Oh, this guy looks lonely. Wow, he didn't see me. How dark is it in here without night vision?
what you're made of.
Ow. That wasn't a great time. Oh no, I think they're behind me now. Oh god. That's not good. Okay, hi. How are you doing here? Why is this... Get bigger. There we go. Oh look. Let's do... Bonus to endurance. Let's just drink stuff now. Restore health. That's generally a good idea.
See what you're made of.
Take out that leader. Oh, he's healed up. That's a problem. One down. Alright. That's a good start. Yeah, the heal over time is not really working out right now. I'm taking a lot of hits at the moment.
You are a fool.
Keep it going. I went around them because I'm like, I don't want to fight two at once. Then I fought three at once. At not quite what I was going for.
I will kill you quickly.
Wow, you're blocking successfully a lot. Don't see a lot of orcs in this game. And now I'm gonna see 2 fewer. There you go. Bye-bye. My journal's been updated. I guess that was all of them. All the smugglers have been defeated. I should report to Captain. There we go. Probably should get the restore health you dropped. There are Imperial characters and they're attacking people who discover their stuff. It's not very nice, frankly. Corruption within the Imperial Army. Can I wear that? I can. Oh, that's neat. So I can also wear this Imperial steel helm. It's a heavy helm, but I can wear it. Might want to hold on to that just as an option. Getting greeted by corpses again. Just because I like the idea of having the... I like the idea of having the option to be wearing different helms and stuff like that. Just trying to get away from just wearing a... I don't like the idea that I'm wearing really crazy, expensive-looking super armor all over my body, and then my helm has like a weird, crappy thing. Like a weird leather flappy thing. So I'm like, maybe a bear hat, that's cool, or a armored thing or something. The feet are a little different because they're literally unarmored. You can't wear anything on your feet, as far as I can tell. Or at least I haven't found it yet. So the fact that it doesn't feel as out of place because at least it's nothing. Oh god, more. Well, that didn't really work out for you. Nice try, Berserker. I'm gonna drink this alcohol in celebration. I guess I might as well put the helm on because the other one's broken. Wait, no, it's not. I repaired that already. There we go. What's this negative trait? Oh. That's from the alcohol. I've got some stats going up and down. It's fine. It happens. As I walk in, it says journal update, and this place is rubble. I've returned to Fort Frostmouth to report to Captain Carius, but the fort has been attacked in my absence. This is a major transformation. Hello. Severia Gratius.
What may I do for you?
You're busy with a moon sugar investigation. You're new at Fort Frostmouth, so I guess you haven't heard. Over the past couple of months, several people across Solstheim have been poisoned with moon sugar. Someone has been slipping it into their food and wine. They experience temporary euphoria, then complete exhaustion. I've been charged with finding the culprit and bringing him to justice. Recently, our cult priest Jeline was poisoned, so it is now officially an imperial matter. If it were just the locals, the Empire couldn't be bothered, but now one of our own has been affected. Last week, our cult priest was stricken with moon sugar euphoria after drinking some wine. I don't have the manpower to deal with this problem, but my superiors are getting impatient. He wants the culprit dead. I know you're not a member of the Imperial Legion, but I'd like to hire you to help in the investigation. I'll make it worth your while. Are you interested? I'll help. It's simple, really. I want you to kill the man responsible for the moon sugar poisonings. Jeline, our cult priest, was the most recent victim, and he actually caught a glimpse of the culprit. It is a man wearing, oddly enough, A unique white Colovian fur helm. Bring me this white helm, and I'll know the deed is done. Now go speak with Jaylene at the cult shrine here in Frostmoth before you depart. He may have some more information. So someone's wearing a white fur helm, and that indicates that they're the culprit that's poisoning people with moon sugar. I should focus on getting back to the captain for now, though, because this place is under attack. Franchise me, Captain? Lock picking. I took his money. More money, but mostly just lock picking. It's really the real goal here. More? There we go. Hey, you keep all that. Gotta level up the skill. We have paper. Paper. Weird to see people using a bunch of bottles of alcohol to prop up their book collection. He's not here, as far as I can tell. There's no update on the captain in my journal. So I suppose I should just ask somebody in town about him. Because he seems to have left his post. He's no longer in his office. So I should try to ask people in here about the attack. And so on. Rakan. The fort, the creatures, it's horrible. And the captain. I haven't seen him. Find Artoria. She may know what to do. Artoria, okay.
Minutes if you need something.
Is Artoria should be alive, because they're the person I didn't take with me on the mission.
Greetings, Khajiit. How may I help you?
How can I help you?
I guess Artoria is probably still in the same location, so let's go to the upper part of the general quarters. Are you about to become the de facto new leader here?
Back. And just in time.
He's gone. Those creatures took him during the battle. Someone has got to find the captain. And where's Lucius? He's dead too? This is horrible. There was an attack. Some kind of wolf creatures. I don't know exactly how it all happened. We were outmanned, but the soldiers fought valiantly. Especially the captain. When it was over, he was gone. I didn't see him go down, so I assume he's still alive. My guess is that those savages from the Nord village have something to do with this. You need to find him, Pat Yelchin. There are a bunch of savages that live in the northeast tip of the island. The Skull, they call themselves. I'll mark the village on your map. A bunch of animal spirit worshipping freaks. Wolves, especially. What does that tell you? I'm sure you know what happened to the captain. Now go find out. They're not likely to trust you, so take this. They'll like it. You should stay with them until you find out what happened. Get in good with them, earn their trust. Okay. They gave me something of a Skull warrior. Crap, I should have waited a little longer before clicking on it. Amulet of Hearthfire. There are a lot of items to check whenever I'm unsure about something in this game. Oh my god. I'm afraid to dump some of these things, but I probably should just throw some of them away, because oh my god, what's going on with my inventory? This is my life now. I thought it was something that was Skull-ish. Is it a book or something? Or a beer? Oh, Skull of a Skull Warrior. They gave me a skull? I guess that makes sense with the way that they treat the dead. where we're supposed to go around and kill their dead all the time. Bunch of crazies. Okay, so now I'm gonna go northeast again. My favorite direction. Nothing has ever gone wrong with the game sending me northeast in this game. The prison. Whoops. Here we go. Wait, are you? No, you're a generic guard. You're not there to meet me. Okay, so we're back to going northeast once again. Except this time, instead of stopping in a mead hall, I'm going to try to actually find the leadership that I didn't find last time. That's right up there. So I was close-ish last time. Need to go further and faster. Didn't take too long to get across the entire island, frankly, with my bunny hopping speed. I'm so fast, and I've got a giant bear head. Fear me, because I am scary. I am the scariest cat bear that might become a werewolf during this mission, because that's like the point of Blood Moon, I believe. So we kind of know what's going on here, because they were apparently attacked by wolf men. Oh yeah, there's the ale house already. I mean, the meat house. We kind of already know as an audience what happened, because this is the Blood Moon expansion and the whole gimmick is werewolves, so having wolf creatures attacking the town, you're pretty reasonable to think, oh yeah, the werewolves attacked. And in the process of trying to save the captain, I'm probably going to be infected with the werewolf curse. He might even be already infected, and I might find him just in time to relay the fact that he's been affected in some way, and then maybe the trope would be that the person I'm there to save transforms into a werewolf before my very eyes and attacks me, or something like that. That's how this story tends to go. We'll see if I'm right or not. Almost there already, I think, yeah. Not such a long run when you know where you're going, as opposed to wandering around, but hey, we've explored like half the island with my wandering already. Not a huge zone, but I'm not going to complain, because I don't really like wandering over giant open plains aimlessly with that, unless there's interesting interactions. That's one of the things that's really cool about Zelda, actually, the Breath of the Wild, is that it does a lot of interesting stuff with how it organizes its space, and there's constantly stuff to do in those spaces. And that is unusual for an open world game. Usually it's just a bunch of plains where all you can do is walk across to get to the next NPC, because otherwise there's not much interaction to be done outside of combat. We've made our way into the actual town we've heard about. The Blasted Skald, they call them. Try that local map. Okay, so we're supposed to... He basically wants me to... Oh, yeah. So we got a Nord Barrier Skull. Give it to the Skald on their trust. I suppose I should try to find their leadership. One of this clearly a case. The Great Hall, that's probably it. Oh, look at that. These are all wooden and the same, but this one's purple and green and a red. Like, look at these colors they got. Oh. Rigmore's hut. Roarer's hut. And Ingmar's hut. I've met you before. You're my friend, right? Hello, Ingmar. Hail, Pat Yelchin. It's good to see you again. Welcome to my home. I was hoping you would stop by. I have something for you. In honor of my defeat of the Valbrander Draugr, my fellow Skald, presented me with the Belt of Ogre Strength. Here, I want you to have it. After all, you earned it. My thanks again for everything. Sweet.
Ah, you bring good fortune with you. Welcome.
Belt of Ogre Strength, somewhere in here. Looking for belts. You? Let's go to apparel. That'll narrow it down a little bit. Not a ton. It's hard to tell the difference. Oh, dang it. It's a cast. You have to manually cast the strength. I was really hoping it'd be like a permanent increase to strength. Not permanent, but one that lasts as long as you're wearing it. Alright, well, there we go. Found that guy's house. Now I need to infiltrate them and become one of them and get them to love me. Hello, are you the leader? Tharston Heartfang. What do you want, stranger? The Skald wish you no harm, but you will mind your manners while you are within our walls. We will make no exceptions. Now, what is it I hear about an attack on the Imperial Fort? Those soldiers. Ha! They cut their trees and dig their holes and have little to show for after a day's toil. They do not respect this land or its creatures, and for that I find them offensive. But, though I have no love for them, the Skull would never do such a thing. We prefer to let the Imperials kill themselves slowly. But these creatures that attacked, these were not wolves of this island. Now, have you finished your business here? Wolves are one of the most blessed of the Allmaker's creations. They are fast and agile. They are careful and clever hunters. Let's see. Skull. We are Skull. That's not really... Okay. What about the skull? I don't really see an option about giving them the skull. Which I do have, right? Yes. Skull of Skull Warrior. Yes, Outlander, what is your business here? Oh, I just had to talk to him again, basically. Weird. You say you've brought the bones of one of our ancestors. Stupid Imperials. They need to learn to leave things as they are. Still, it is good that you returned this to the Skull. Perhaps there is hope for you and your kind. You are welcome to here for the moment, but there is much to atone for. Like me. Oh no, I clicked one too many times. There we go. Atone for, you said? The Imperials, in their forts, have brought nothing but harm to these lands. They cut the trees and dig the earth. They are wasteful, lazy, and careless. They have no comprehension of the oneness of the land. It is this oneness from which the Skull derive our strength, and the Imperials have defiled these lands. Oneness? This is what gives Skull power. It is the balance of our lands, the trees and the waters, wolf and bear. The Imperials have no respect for this balance, and we pay the price. Defiled these lands. Through their carelessness, the Imperials have upset the natural order. The oneness of the land. This is their nature. It must be balanced once again, and the Allmaker appeased. I wish for you to make things right, Pat Yelchin. You will be the one to restore the power of the Skull. It is right that you do this, as it is your people who have caused the damage. Speak with Coursed Wind Eye in the Shaman's hut. He will give you further instructions. The Shaman. He should spend more time with steel and less with studies. Still, he could provide good advice. That's stupid. You're stupid. Don't be stupid, stupid. He's stupid. You're stupid. You're a stupid person. Go speak with the specialized member of our tribe that is the only person who specifically can help you with this exact task. I really wish he would focus on fighting instead of this thing that makes him useful and special to our tribe. Instead, he should act like everybody else and just be an idiot with a sword and have none of these special skills that are the entire reason why I'm referring him to you. What the fuck is that self-defeating logic? Like, that makes no sense. It makes no sense. He's our shaman, and he's special, and he's got these crazy abilities, and look at him. You go to him. He's the only person that can help you. He should not be that way. What? Like, what? Do you not value a shaman? What's wrong with you? Oh, there's a smith. Oh, someone's in combat with me, apparently. Hello. Like me? Man, I'm so likable. This cat person. What's that? Claymore. Whoa, 2,500 gold. You have more money than like most of the people I ever meet in this entire game. That's impressive. And click. There we go. So I spent, oh, about 1,000 gold that time. Somewhat impressive. Still not nearly high enough to get rid of some of these items, though. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to wear an item that gives me 5 agility if it only gives me 25 armor rating, because don't these give me, yeah, 128? And the other item gives me 10 points of shield, but that doesn't make up for the loss of armor, because there's apparently a 1-to-1 relationship between shield and armor, so Let's just get rid of those items. That'll give me a little bit of space. Lord Jornaber's Last Dance. It's a song. So as they do, they all work straight out of their own living quarters. Ooh, a wolf helmet. What makes it wolfy? Doesn't look like a wolf helmet. Just looks like a leather thing. Not very visually striking. Yo, where are your shamans at? Icemane's hut. Lasser's hut. Shaman's hut. There we go. Hello, Coursed Wind-Eye. How do you do? Do you know that your chieftain disrespects you behind your back? The 5 stars. Attacking the Imperial Fort. I can tell you no more about this. There's information Heartfang will have it. I'm sorry, I can do no more. Come on. Ooh, he's like resistant to this, isn't he? I should have stopped at 99. That would have been the same things to do. Yeah, there. Let's just stop there. Restore power to the skull. Heartfang wishes for you to do this, does he? Then I will assist you. There is a ritual that must be completed. On Solstheim, you will find 6 standing stones, each representing one of the 6 gifts of the Allmaker. At each of these stones, a ritual must be completed. Once the ritual of the gifts is complete, the oneness shall be restored. 6 standing stones. I found the Sunstone, I believe. The ritual of the gifts. It would be too much for any not of the skull to remember. Here, take this. It will explain the rituals and guide you on your way. This book may be of some use to you as well. If you are to remain with the skull, you should understand our beliefs. Okay? So, story of the Avar Stone Singer and locations of the stones. Ooh, locations. That's useful. Thank you. Let's see. Story of the summing something. There we go. Oh my goodness. That's a big one. Sit quietly, child, and listen, for the story I tell you is a story of the ages. But what is it, grandfather? Is it a story of heroes and beasts? The grandfather looked patiently at the child. He was growing into a fine boy. Soon he would see the value in stories, the lessons that were taught to each generation. Just listen, child. Let the story take root in your heart. In a time before now, long before now, when the Skull were new, there was peace in the land. The sun was hot and the crops grew long, and the people were happy in the peace that the Allmaker provided. But the Skull grew complacent and lazy, and they took for granted the lands and all the gifts the Allmaker had given them. They forgot or chose not to remember that the adversary is always watching, and that he delights in tormenting the Allmaker and his chosen people. And so it was that the adversary came to be known among the Skull. I went way too far on accident. The adversary has many aspects. He appears in the unholy beasts and the incurable plague. At the end of seasons, we will know him as Thartag, the World Devourer, but in these ages he came to be known as the Greedy Man. The Greedy Man, that is what we call him, for to speak his name would certainly bring ruin on the people, lived among the Skull for many months. Perhaps he was just one man, but when the adversary entered into him, he became the Greedy Man, and that is how he is remembered. It came to be one day that the powers of the Skull left him, the strength left the arms of the warriors, and the shaman could no longer summon the beast to their side. The elders thought that surely the Allmaker was displeased, and some suggested the Allmaker had left them forever. It was then that the Greedy Man appeared to them and spoke. You of the Skull have grown fat and lazy. I have stolen the gifts of your Allmaker. I have stolen the oceans, so you will forever know thirst. I have stolen the lands and the trees and the sun, so your crops will wither and die. I have stolen the beasts, so you will go hungry, and I have stolen the winds, so you will live without the spirit of the Allmaker. And until one of you can reclaim these gifts, the Skull will live in misery and despair. For I am the Greedy Man, and that is my nature, and the Greedy Man disappeared. The members of the Skull spoke for many days and nights. They knew that one of them must retrieve the gifts of the Allmaker, but they could not decide who it should be. I cannot go, said the elder, for I must stay to lead the Skull, and tell our people what is the law. I cannot go, said the warrior, for I must protect the Skull. My sword will be needed in case the greedy man reappears. I cannot go, said the shaman, for the people need my wisdom. I must read the portents and offer my knowledge. It was then that a young man called Avar lifted his voice. He was strong of arm and fleet of foot, though he was not yet a warrior of the Skull. I will go, said Avar, and the Skull laughed. Hear me out, the boy continued. I am not yet a warrior, so my sword will not be needed. I cannot read the portents, so the people will not seek my counsel. And I am young, and not yet wise in the ways of law. I will retrieve the gifts of the Allmaker from the greedy man. If I cannot, I will not be missed. That's dark. The Skull thought on this briefly and decided to let the Avar go. He left the village the next morning to retrieve the gifts. Avar first set out to retrieve the gift of water, so he traveled to the Waterstone. It was there the Allmaker first spoke to him. Travel west to the sea and follow the swimmer to the waters of life. So Avar walked to the edge of the ocean, and there was the swimmer, a black horker, sent from the Allmaker. The swimmer dove into the waters and swam very far, and far again. Avar was strong, though, and he swam hard. He followed the swimmer to a cave, swimming deeper and deeper, his lungs burning and his limbs exhausted. At last, he found a pocket of air, and there, in the dark, he found the waters of life. Gathering his strength, he took the waters and swam back to the shore. Upon returning to the Waterstone, the Allmaker spoke. You have returned the gift of water to the Skull. The oceans again will bear fruit, and their thirst will be quenched. Avar then traveled to the Earthstone, and there the Allmaker spoke to him again. Enter the cave of the hidden music, and hear the song of the earth. So Avar traveled north and east to the cave of hidden music. He found himself in a large cavern where the rocks hung from the ceiling and grew from the ground itself. He listened there and heard the song of the earth, but it was faint. Grabbing up his mace, he struck the rocks of the floor in time with the song, and the song grew louder until it filled the cavern and his heart. Then he returned to the Earthstone. The gift of the earth is with the Skull again, said the Allmaker. The lands are rich again and will bear life. Avar was tired, as the sun burned him. The trees offered no shade, and there was no wind to cool him. Still, he traveled to the Beast Rock, and the Allmaker spoke. Find the good beast and ease his suffering. Avar traveled through the woods of the ice and fear for many hours until he heard the cries of a bear from over a hill. As he crested the hill, he saw the bear, a Falmer's arrow piercing its neck. He checked the woods for the Falmer, for that is what they were, though some say they are not, and finding none, approached the beast. He spoke soothing words and came upon it slowly, saying, Good beast, I mean you no harm. The Allmaker has sent me to ease your suffering. Hearing these words, the bear ceased his struggles and laid his head at Avar's feet. Avar grasped the arrow and pulled it from the bear's neck, using the little nature magic he knew. Avar tended the wound, though it took the last bit of his strength, and the bear's wound closed. As the bear's wound closed, Avar slept. When he awoke, the bear stood over him, and the remains of a number of the Falmer were strewn about. He knew that the good beast had protected him during the night, and he traveled back to Beast Rock, the bear by his side, and the Allmaker spoke to him again. You have returned the gift of the beasts. Once again, the good beast will feed the Skull when they are hungry, clothe them when they are cold, and protect them in times of need. Avar's strength had returned, so he traveled on to the Tree Stone, though the good beast did not follow him. When he arrived, the Allfather spoke to him. The first trees are gone, and must be replanted. Find the seed, and plant the first tree. Avar traveled again through the Hirstang forest, searching for the seeds of the first tree, but he could find none. Then he spoke to the tree spirits, the living trees. They told him that the seeds had been stolen by one of the Falmer, for they are the servants of the adversary, and this Falmer was hiding them deep in the forest, so that none would ever find them. Eivor traveled to the deepest part of the forest, and there he found the evil Falmer, surrounded by the lesser tree spirits. Eivor could see that the spirits were in his thrall, and that he had used the magic of the seeds and spoken their secret name. Eivor knew he could not stand against such a force, and that he must retrieve the seeds in secret. Eivor reached into his pouch and drew out his flint, gathering leaves. He started a small fire outside the clearing where the Falmer and the ensorcelled spirits milled. All the Skald know the spirits' hatred of fires, for the fires ravage the trees they serve. At once, the nature of the spirits took hold, and they rushed to quell the flames. During the commotion, Eivor snuck behind the Falmer and snatched the pouch of seeds, stealing away before the evil being knew they were gone. When Eivor returned to this tree stone, he planted the tree in the ground, and the Allmaker spoke to him. The gift of trees is restored once again. The trees and plants will bloom and grow, and provide nourishment and shade. Eivor was tired, for the sun would only burn, and the winds would not yet cool him, but he rested briefly in the shade of the trees. His legs were weary and his eyes heavy, but he continued on, traveling to the Sunstone. Again the Allmaker spoke. The gentle warmth of the sun is stolen, so now it only burns. Free the sun from the halls of Penumbra. Penumbra being, if I remember correctly, shit. It's something to do with the sun and the moon or something like that. The penumbra might be what happens when the moon casts a shadow on the sun, or the shadow casts or it might be when the moon casts a shadow on the sun, or the earth casts a shadow on the moon. The moon can't cast a shadow on the sun, that makes no sense. It might be when the earth casts a shadow on the moon, or the moon casts a shadow on the earth, or it might be that when you see... when the moon eclipses the sun, it might be that that ring you see might be the penumbra. It has something to do with solar entities and the sun and the moon or something. I've forgotten a bit. I learned what it was because there's a series of games called Penumbra that were made by the people that made Amnesia before Amnesia, and at some point I knew what it meant. There's also a word called the Umbra. And so Eivor walked west, over the frozen lands until he reached the halls of Penumbra. There, the air inside was thick and heavy, and he could see no farther than the end of his arm. Still, he felt his way along the halls, though he heard the shuffling of feet and knew that this place held the unholy beasts, who would tear his flesh and eat his bones. For hours he crept along until he saw a faint glow far at the end of the hall. There, from behind a sheet of perfect ice, came a glow so bright he had to shut his eyes, lest they be forever blinded. He plucked the flaming eye from one of the unholy beasts and threw it at the ice with all his might. A small crack appeared in the ice, then it grew larger. Slowly the light crept out beneath the cracks, widening them, splitting the ice wall into pieces. With a deafening crack, the wall crumbled, and the lights rushed over Eivor and through the halls. He heard the shrieks of the unholy beasts as they were blinded and burned. He ran out of the halls, following the light, and collapsed on the ground outside. When he was able to rise again, the sun again warmed him, and he was glad for that. He traveled back to the Sunstone, where the Allmaker spoke to him. The gift of the sun is the Skald's once again. It was warm then, and give them light. It will warm them and give them light. Eivor had one final gift he had to recover, the gift of the winds. So he traveled to the Windstone, far on the western coast of the island. When he arrived, the Allmaker spoke to him, giving him his final task. Find the greedy man and release the winds from its captivity. So Eivor wandered the land in search of the greedy man. He looked in the trees, but the greedy man did not hide there, nor did he hide near the oceans, or the deep caves, and the beasts had not seen him in the dark forests. Finally, Eivor came to a crooked house, and he knew that here he would find the greedy man. "Who are you?" shouted the greedy man, "that you come to my house?" "I am Eivor of the Skald." Said Eivor, "I am not warrior, shaman, or elder. If I do not return, I will not be missed. But I have returned the oceans, and the earth, the trees, the beasts, and the sun. And I will return the winds to my people, that we may feel the spirit of the Allmaker in our souls again." And with that, he grabbed up the greedy man's bag and tore it open. The winds rushed out with gale force, sweeping the greedy man up and carrying him off, far from the island. Avar breathed in the winds and was glad. He walked back to the Windstone, where the Allmaker spoke to him a final time. You have done well, Avar. The least of the Skull, have returned my gifts to them. The greedy man is gone for now, and should not trouble your people again in your lifetime. Your Allmaker is pleased. Go now, and live according to your nature. And Avar started back to the Skull village. And then what happened, grandfather? What do you mean, child? He went home. No, when he returned to the village, the child continued. Was he made a warrior, or taught the ways of the shaman? Did he lead the Skull in battle? I do not know. That is where the story ends, said the grandfather. But that is not an ending. That is not how stories end. The old man laughed, and got up from his chair. Is it not? Okay, a number of things to unpack there. One of which is apparently there's going to be another pilgrimage quest like we did with the Hortator Nerevarine thing. May not be as involved. It's hard to say for sure. We once again have the number 6 coming up again, because for some reason Morrowind loves the number 6. So we've... how was it before? I had to convince 6 clans to make me their Nerevarine, I believe was the number. I think that was the number. When I got to the families, the civilized people with the Hortator, I think each of them had 6 members I had to convince each time. Now we have 6 stones I need to complete a ritual for. I don't know necessarily yet how involved this is going to be. It might be that I have to recreate the events we just read in the story step by step, or I might just have to go to each stone and that's it. And this just might be the original story that's more dramatic. But an important thing that's noted here is that so far in Morrowind, whenever we encounter a deity type character or a legendary character, they usually tend to still be alive, which is interesting with Vivek and everybody like that. And the fact that this story doesn't have an ending seems to suggest that maybe this character is also still alive somewhere out there, being their little local Hercules character with their own crazy abilities. So we'll have to see if they show up at some time.
You were to perform the ritual of the gifts. I hope your way has been easy.
Forrest, I have not even left the building yet.